OKFM 101.7.
Honorable Rockson-Nelson Dafeamakpor, MP for South Dine. Na yenene twe enkomo. Honorable Michelle.
Yo, kwame mijo so anope mi chira etifo nyina.
Efo nyina jo so na boko de.
Menu abema ye wa domenti etinkom.
Anope de esa awode o kakra.
Oh, there be obre.
Obre. Oh.
Oh.
Esa na fa sare wa ajeyi. Bo nse breni nyina akọ. Na ono mabon nchen a LGBTQ enura ye hu another memo bi a wo mo atwero na wo mo kora publish ni nyina e wo daily graphic mu be 7 pages ena enkofo na so ade akọ piso wo mo a wo mo se wo mo mpirima mo nye bill intumi na enura so mampani His Excellency na dan kwakufu ado wa kasa e wo Peace FM ye fidie ba time no na ba ko a wakani a daily se no e de abba ba ko Ghanaian Times President urges tolerance civil discourse na utie president ya o se momianto yebo ade na beto parliament ye mobo hu ne ye hwehwe where discussions no e de be kwakọ wie se ye beji atumosi anyintumu na bibia enane kwam wano e wano and the daily graphic nso say discussions on LGBTQ plus bill tolerates opposing views. President tells public. Say obi a no nya adwo tolerate that views, you know. Binimu so on another length. Sinka oh no more president so obeka say me as president of the Republic of Ghana. Me peneso. No way. Parliament jitum kura na eba men sign say yema lesbianism, gay, queer, no man de enye dwuma. Business na ko mo expect the president to be definite on that issue. And come at you say
Kwame midasi edikan my main cover been for the daily graphic a year and now. Now daily graphic in fact the editor of the daily graphic and at the board of daily graphic the omoye and one. It's a brutal criminal attack on the conscience of this nation.
But your word is brutal criminal attack on the conscience of this nation. Why?
Yes. Kwame. On my way, you see yempe LGBT. Yempe. It could be said we shouldn't criminalize it. It's all much memo at the Abba Parliament. And yet, school around the world Parliament and the document in the public or Parliament, it is okay. In penny phone of a kind. Now, daily graphic, Edison Mono, etu omo daily graphic, daily graphic, in him say, the daily graphic, etu library, our primary schools, a man korakai. Are they away? And the daily graphic, the memoir. Omo kan woman say we should allow LGBT. Na ye dia kotu library na ye ma no ma kind.
Then yeah, omo ba kind is set.
Neighbor Kwame. E no ma bi wo a e di agro. Anu na ya ma enfufu e da ne ye kwaye o ma mu. Daily Graphic is a public entity. They cannot do that. In the same way, you say, yeah, way and call your curriculum and manufacture your basic schools. No, it is the same thing. Because daily graphic, it is put in the library of our basic schools. And you remember now, Oma publish here, the whole thing is about indoctrination and orientation. That is what we are fighting against. Me say me ba only 18 years, men decide say onunko kan gay himself na onyi akaka so person gay. I don't want that. I don't want my child to be exposed to it.
Hey, lawyer,
okay. Kwame, I'm very serious. So Daily Graphic, don't publish these things in the national paper. That is what I'm saying, because we use our public funds to fund the activities of Daily Graphic. And to me, to tax, fans set up Daily Graphic. Now Daily Graphic or publish LGBT things. Now me back or kind. That is the point I'm making. And you don't mean an airtime. What they did yesterday in the name of money, airtime. I one page, one advert in Daily Graphic, it's over 6,000.
Yes.
Page advert, black and white, over 6,000. So the number of pages almost 20 and run. I know how much they got. So today we should allow Daily Graphic to be publishing LGBT material for our children to be reading. And then the area of parliament, when they said the area of parliament is a joke.
Na mami musadie. Per de mi win san krofo yi a wo mo signature shasi. Wo ma be ye ku ana.
Yes, I saw my far back to the information or the appeting my ma someone kind. They should read and begin to form their opinions.
Na why a lawyer idea? Conclusion na womo ye no womo kotu ade bi na ma menkan na brofo naja won chechim kakra say as far back as November 1992 in the seminal judgment of the Supreme Court of Ghana in MPP versus IGP affirming the right of people to assemble, demonstrate and process against the repressive public order decree 1972 NLSC D 68 and more such justice of the Supreme Court as if anticipating these dark days that our republic is threatened with today. What first idea we say yenye gay ni lesbianism say dark days. Stated in a compelling and deeply insightful dicta at pages 470 to 471 of the Ghana Law Reports to 1993-1994. His opinion as follows: in countries that practice true democracy, supporters and opponents of every conceivable cause are given freedom to associate and express their views. In the end, some have succeeded and their unpopular demands have eventually become majority wishes and have been recognized. The examples are the anti-slavery groups in the 18th century England and 19th century America and the suffragists of both countries at the beginning of this century. Well, yeah, wamuko fire in the conclusion of their write-up, no, and mremuno ntiase womuni say.
Kwame, and no problem. We last paragraph.
I mean, call last paragraph, no.
Last paragraph.
Aha. I mean, twaso. Okay, mami go ahead. In this country, it will be unthinkable for any police officer to grant homosexuals a permit to hold a demonstration in support of so-called gay rights. But if I ask, in the 19th century, England, the supporters of child labor had been prevented from stating their case. Would its evil consequences have ever been recognized? In this day and age, it is necessary for us to see the consent, not force, in the basis of a just society, and that is not for the government or our neighbor to tell us what to think or feel or do. Emphasis added. Most of the restrictions on our liberties, after which years of repressions we have come to accept, are inconsistent with democratic norms, except in a time of war, when a state of emergency has been declared. It cannot be right for any agency of the executive to suppress the free expression of any opinion, however unpopular that opinion may be. The believer in absolutism, anarchists, those who oppose equal rights for women, yes, lesbians and homosexuals too, are all entitled to free expression of their views and the right to assemble and to demonstrate in support of those views. Once the state takes for itself the power to license association of assemblies and processions, it resorts to support of that status quo. And the only way of changing the prevailing state of affairs is by use of force. Emphasis added. We urge the Parliamentary Select Committee on Constitutional, Legal, and then Parliamentary Affairs to heed to these prescient and liberating words of Amosechi, Justice of the Supreme Court from the past, in order not to create society where the state, through legislation, impose one's view of proper human sexual rights as the only acceptable one in our free republic, and where dissenting views and expressions, including peaceful advocacy, are criminalized and suppressed. What the bill emphasizes is the very opposite of the word freedom and justice that emblazon our coat of arms. The bill ought, with respect, to be firmly rejected by the Parliamentary Select Committee on Constitutional, Legal, and Parliamentary Affairs, and by Parliament as a whole. It has no place in our constitutional republic. Signed, Akoto Ampao, Professor Emerita Techua Menu, Professor Kwame Kakari, Professor Kofi Jumabwedi, Professor Audrey Gajapo, Dr. Roseman Sakuti.
Kwame.
Bra.
One will be on my wine afa.
Aye.
Today, almost gay rights through Mudienu is equivalent to anti-slavery agitations.
Aye.
They are comparing sexual desires to a law that enable another man to sell his neighbor into slavery. You see their level of thinking. They are comparing to Mudienu to
MPP, IGP.
The abuse of children. You see their level of thinking. Who told Akoto that when the Constitution says freedom of speech, it means freedom of criminal speech? Who told him that? You have a freedom of speech, but it is freedom of lawful speech. Kwame, internet umasi wesu samikaze ne mikoyeku ana maye plus where me be to abai. You bet me.
Me cry bet me because I gave you the platform to publish it.
Is that not freedom of speech?
A freedom of speech.
Thank you. So why would I be arrested? So you see the level of thinking these people are infecting and infesting our children with in the name of freedom of speech. Who told Akoto say if you say freedom of association, it is freedom of unlawful association? Kwame, and then we must say because me were association, me were poor. Juma ye diani say krono ni ebo ye highway robbery. Who them say ever me?
Yes,
exactly. So who told Akoto that when they say freedom of association, it means freedom of criminal association? Who told him that? What sort of law is that? Sorry, I so senior, and then they go and edge this warp thinking the law on us. Who told him that? So why were my people in the Volta region arrested for saying that they want to break away? Is that not freedom of association?
Yeah.
So why were they arrested? In Tiamra. So when the Constitution says freedom of something, it doesn't mean you have the freedom to engage in the criminality. That is why we have criminal laws. There are certain conducts that the nation says that it doesn't want. So it criminalizes it, including sodomy. Sodomy is in the heart of gayism. That is the point. So what is this business of comparing us to medieval times in England and all that? I mean, in any case, Utiamra, do you know they are prosecutor? Do you know how it is done?
Yeah, they say.
It is not Attorney General versus Ukwamio.
The Republic.
It's the Republic. when you commit a crime, it is a crime against the entire nation. That's why the Republic will come against you and put you in jail if they find you guilty. Akotuampa knows this. He knows it very well. So we shouldn't go and carry Amwasechi's reasoning in lawful assemblies. Now, except for 494, we had demonstration, right? And once in the 92. Freedom to freely express your views. Say, me call law school, mama match law social, my passy, we say, that's one. The law says you have the right to speak. It is a review of 100% and with the constitution in principle. These were the things, the context in which Amwasechi was speaking. Amwasechi was not speaking because a group of armed robbers says that they want to go on a demonstration and express their right to rob people. Amwasechi wouldn't have spoken the way he spoke if the issue was about unlawful group of people who want to engage in an unlawful activity. And they shouldn't be misbehaving. This group of 18 disciples, now they are misbehaving.
Who from 18 disciples?
18 disciples and pro-gay disciples, now they are misbehaving.
But one more case law being authorities be.
I mean, I am telling you that the case law no to know. It is totally inapplicable in this case. And can law. It is totally inapplicable. Why did Amwasechi say the things he said? Because Uncle 4% we had demonstration, a lawful group, and a police force said, and that it's here the Public Order Act, for notice a masano man, and an MPP sue here. MPP were one on the Assembly Court. So Amwasechi in any decent democracy, the freedom of speech and the right to assemblage, you know, they are fundamental. No I'm saying that the gay people, gay are criminal. Gay are already in our criminal status. No, the sodomy is criminalized. So if a gay person who engages in sodomy, it engages in a criminal conduct, and that is what they do when they do their things.
Law. And you okay.
So you cannot say that we should allow group of gay people to go and demonstrate on our streets and say that they have the right to practice gayism, which we are saying is criminal. So if you go and take that judicial decision to come and support your argument, we are failing people not at all.
Hey, Laurie, what do they seek to achieve? Sanipa 18. Dear Pan, one more.
They are the source of the pollution of the public health. These people, they become the greatest source of pollution of our public health. Family, as I say, it's here, no? Because these people, they are very dangerous to our society. These people. Climate, which insecurity in the bill. You see, even the bill, no, almost kind, they are reacting emotionally.
One kind bill, no.
I almost kind bill, no, because in the bill, if you read clause 22, there's a whole provision. You say, Obia, or ye gay, and now ye lesbian. Obi beka say or attacking no on grounds of hating no wa committee offense. With yamra and to also emrani ubidi. Ye di wasem na ye ho akamu a ye do betum anase ye be fine no ye betwe aso. Kwame na provision we wo mrani mu a den na okoka say na mrani a ye hyehyɛ no, it's promoting hate. How? When we are saying that if anybody exhibits hateful conduct towards an LGBT person, he's committed an offense in accordance with the law.
Oh, sad anyone. Sad anyone. Okay.
So how can anybody overlook this and still be saying that the bill is hateful against LGBT people?
Media nanka me hwe ne say dia M1 say so omo kan ni say na me hwe ne say bi anka ombefa bill no wa mo fa bill no a e bi a set paragraph we bill na state say na yes your position here. Yes
Kwame, me position no say bill no. In fact, so far they have not even recommended say yens e bi a title no senior tier no for say a bit no yens say ni say e bi a clause 2. Yes, he say no, but okay, yeah, they say clause 3. Oh, they haven't done anything like that.
What would you, in conclusion, the bill with respect to family rejected by Parliamentary Select Committee on Constitutionality and Parliament as a whole.
Kwame, thank you. And to say we are not pro gay, and you say yeah gay for us and a bill no your foot in their memo to Parliament, the bill should be totally rejected. In other words, we should allow the gayism to fester in our country.
Because obviously it has no place in our constitutional republic.
Who told them that? Who told them that it has no place in our constitutional republic? When they talk of democracy, they think democracy is by what one person says. It is by the decision of the majority. That is why NDC need power. Because they didn't get the votes of the majority. MPP is in power because they got the vote of the majority. And is that not what we call democracy?
Mm-hmm.
When the majority are speaking, I expect the people who think that they have a voice, but their voice is not carrying the day, to keep quiet.
But Laurie, Sanipa 18, ebi ewo professorial status. Ebinum doctorate near their day, ebinum ye dean. Ebi at their thinking, ye knew that level of thinking, maybe who said you almost can. Yes.
I think I'm from now. I didn't go for now.
Make the Queen's English.
Let me wait an opportunity to invest my camera, baby. But the famous Supreme Court judge,
Lord Denny.
Justice F.Y. Pega.
Pega. Okay, yeah.
That time he was a High Court judge in Cape Coast.
Mm-hmm.
On my decision is one of the most revolutionary decisions ever. I say, Kwame, so we are professor in English. We are professor in wine. Say, unti, if you are a professor in wine. So unti a friend is saying unti bibiasia unti asie illiterate.
Hey, so we are professor in one so unti bibiasia.
Yeah, can't be that you are illiterate.
Wow. And the man say me a professor of English. Na ye can be about neurology. Mentiasia me illiterate.
You are an illiterate. When it comes to chemistry, you are an illiterate.
Wow.
You are an illiterate.
And I won't say, when you're economist, you do baby, you can't, we are illiterate.
If you are a professor in English, they can't economics as someone, you are an illiterate.
Law, we are illiterate.
Yeah, man, professor, no. The issue is very simple. There's a conduct.
I me be say. There is nothing like big English.
Exactly. And your professorship it's about basic. Now, Kwame, we say if you are a true professor, if you are Kotuampa, if you are really committed, you would have made provision, reference to the provision. I can say the bill criminalizes hateful conduct towards a gay person. You would have referred to it and debunk the idea that the bill therefore does not promote hate, rather.
But how many said it's inculcated in the bill?
Then they haven't read it and they are acting emotionally. I'm saying because they cannot ever impose this thing on us.
Wow.
We are doing it. We are resisting. I know a publication on graphic. I'm not going for power.
Yes, 7 pages.
We don't want to expose children to this, and then you go and put it in graphic for the children to go and read. And you're fighting. If I say call your curriculum, and you say they contain you.
God help us to resist the oppressor's foe.
So, Kwame, and no infant to change. Once the president, has not been able to state his position for or against ever since Obey president.
Oh, what kind of baby say a Indian man pondian and say any person as Adian Baba.
Oh, now Kwame,
he was emphatic then.
Any person, so has he spoken? He's been blowing hot and cold. Usia Bunuma of say or can't be before who I behana. No castle any person, any bemu. But I think that is why check it. You see, even the majority members, they were all whipped away. A canteen for John Kwan, or see one only Christo Suminti. Anything can happen, but he will sign. I was there, I was sitting there. Initially, we were about 15. Check it, yeah, 8. In fact, ye shakra since and a 6, but a compare. Inside 2 ladies, among the kind, and yeah, 8. All of them were asked to go away, not to sign, as sponsors of the bill. But the embassy did way better politics.
Lori, me promise you, I did with Mammy. And more crying Uncle Pombo woman. 1. A punchy. Oh, young punchy bema on Cono. Empo oba punchy or bar one. Just said what hit.
Kwame, me say, apart from the lesbians, a ma worry ma, and now money mother, gayism, and member money member, edan. There's bestiality, Kwame, bestiality, no, as any said. And now almost those who crossing the other groups, no. Bestiality, they say, oba to make us say, or no, dear, cramming, and now, ponko. And a person in that almost me actually a top on call the baby.
Yeah, ni Jimmy. First, me will be an amicasa, be a video can will be a can you say I'm
Kwame, me count 9 say new video keke. On the other side, no, Obama it make us on only preco ban or better into to make a top preco and the benefits any. To make a top on coba every 2 years any.
Why? Nijimi.
No, I am telling you. It is a so gay forward, right? It is not simply about the gay people. The group. Look at your LGBTQ. What is that? Everyone is saying army.
But Papa, what I'm struggling to as I say, Sanko free or come over me 18. Obi na bebo wo mama ne. Say I gave for na bebo wo come I'm almost say akunta bi kura say so wo bro 150,000. And I'm say wo na bebo wo mama ne say wo fight on their behalf. And now wo ate won then wo hu say e bia me Professor Doji Chikata.
Kwame ya bomba anom na be bomba. And na me bi say akoto ampa wen. Now until say achi Shatawale.
Now Shatawale the only
Shatawale say aboni to e money to until say achi no.
And Congo Jwanyi no.
David na say no say right. And I know right.
Ya search medical kra.
Say right. Huh?
What the tuo brandish tuo ewo internet so. And a walk
me bisako tampa so when you should speak. Don't they have rights?
They have right to brandish whatever weapon they have.
I'm not speaking.
O say o can be our brain and say Supreme Court to say we gina na so sa wa bre.
And what they were bread. Give on the omre.
na me
one from Suma Okroma. And then Akotwa Pauti Kroma. Students almost through law school exams. Auma pass it. Be any more Kroma Auma pass it. Law school say in the honey swine to you untimin kasa. They don't have rights to go and learn and become lawyers. And Kwame, law is one of the greatest skills to acquire. And no, who acquire, you don't need here buying obey more. You become you employ yourself. Ejuma wa wiye ejuma na nuaji ebinu so ewe ejuma. They are not interested. They are interested in trumu. Kwame, me da say no pay.
So me da say papa ene ne twin komo Honorable Rockson Dafeamakpor MP for South Die. Leader constitutional member not your leader no. Member Constitutional and Legal Committee Affairs Committee of Parliament and na twin komo no.
OKFM 101.7